LipSync Pro 1.4 is coming out later this month, so I thought before it does I'd just do a quick video to run down all of the new features that are coming with it. I'll just read out some of the simpler ones and some of the bug fixes and things, and then I'll get onto a demonstration of some of the more interesting ones. So first up, support for bone scale has been added to poses. So from now, when you've got use bone transforms ticked and you add one, you can now scale them, as well as changing the position and rotation. It's quite a minor one, but that was missing before, so that should help some people out. So on the bug fixing front, there's quite a few in this release. Sprite layers now work as they should. Gesture markers now highlight properly in the editor when they were a bit buggy before. Bones now always rotate the shortest distance in animations, so that should fix some problems with snapping and things that people were getting when using bone transforms. There's a couple of null reference exceptions that were coming up that are now fixed, and if you reset a LipSync component by right-clicking up here, it will now remove the blend system, so you won't get errors when you try to add one back on afterwards. So, onto the more interesting things. Copy and paste has been added to the clip editor. So if I add markers now, you can actually see there's a new paste here option, and in the edit menu there's copy and paste up there. There's also the standard keyboard shortcuts for them, which, like everything else, can be fully rebound. So just to demonstrate that, I can add some markers here, and if I just select them, I can press Ctrl-C and paste them wherever I want. You can see they are the same. So that works just as you'd expect it to, there's no surprises there. There's also now a shortcut for getting to the marker settings. So instead of having to right click and then click on marker settings like that, you can now just double click on any marker. Now of course the other big change coming to the clip editor in this update is AutoSync 3, but that's not quite ready to show off just yet. The main improvement though will be that it now works on macOS Sierra and High Sierra, and it should also be much more accurate than the previous one was. But like I said, that's not quite ready yet, and I'll be doing a whole new video when that's ready to show how that works. So for those of you who have built your own blend systems, they can now run code whenever a blendable is added or removed from a pose. So this should be useful if you need to add things to other lists, or create new game objects or anything like that. The biggest change here though is the creation of the new advanced blend shape blend system. Now this is probably going to replace the previous blend shape blend system in version 2, but for now they're both being included side by side. Now this solves the problem that I know a few people had come across before, where multiple meshes that you were using had the same blend shapes but at different indices in the list, or some of them had some blend shapes and some didn't have others, and the list didn't match up. Now the only way before was to have your main mesh here and then a set of other meshes here, but you would get errors and things didn't look right if the lists of blend shapes in all of those meshes didn't line up. The advanced one though, much like the sprite blend system, adds a manager component down here. Now I'll go down into this raw list here to show you how it works, but what it does is it stores groups of these mappings, which are a skinned mesh renderer and an index, and it groups these together under a single name. So you can have any number of these that you like, and these will just get used in the place of blend shapes in LipSync or iController. So you could go in yourself and set all of these up manually, but to make things simpler, you can just use this part of it up here. All you need to do is find your skin mesh renderers, and a good idea to make sure that you can use the same blend shapes that you've got set up already is to make sure that the first one you add in here is the main skinned mesh renderer that you were using before. So I'll just go ahead and drag in body there, and then click add. And that just comes up in the list there. So then I'll add the other two that I was using before, which was the beard and the eyelashes meshes, and add them. And then I'll just click build from names. And now that that's done, you can see they disappeared from the list. And in here, got the whole list of blend shapes filled out with the different mappings for each renderer. And the good thing is I shouldn't need to do any more setup than that. These poses should now work just as they did before, because all the blend shapes are in the same order. So that should be very useful for anyone who's having those problems with the indices not lining up. So hopefully some of that will be useful to some of you. Like I said, there'll be another video coming along in the next few days, which will be going over the new version of AutoSync and all the files and things with that. And then this update, LipSync Pro 1.4, should be available from our website within the next week, and the asset store shortly after that. As always, if you've got any suggestions, you can leave them in the comments below or send us an email at contact@rogodigital.com. And if you want to stay on top of new announcements and tutorials, feel free to subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.